We will do Mangalacharanam. Om Sahana Bhavatu Sahanau Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu ma vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Vamshi Vibhushitakarat Navaneradabhat Pitambaradharunabimbaphalaadharoष्ठात् Purnendusundaramuखात् Aravindaneत्रात् Krishnat param kimapi tattvamaham न जाने Krishnat param kimapi tattvamaham न जाने. Namo Namaha. Yesterday we have finished Bhakti Yoga, 12th chapter, which was known as Bhakti Yoga. Now, from today onwards, we are going to see another short chapter which is known as Purushottama Yoga, 15th chapter. Before that, I would like to ask some questions. Please unmute yourself and answer whenever I ask. In Srimad Bhagavad Gita, how many chapters are there?
18.
18 chapters. Gita was said by whom?
By Lord Krishna.
Bhagwan Sri Krishna.
Lord Sri Krishna to
Arjun.
To Arjuna, right? Where it was said or
On the
explained?
Kurukshetra battlefield.
On the Kurukshetra, on the battlefield. How many years back?
Around 5,000. More than 5,000.
Right. Thousands of years back, right? So if we ask something to our parents, grandparents, and if they start talking about their experience, how they used to live, if you ask some topic and if they start something saying, obviously we get bored, right? Like, अरे यार हमारे जमाने में ऐसा था, हमारे जमाने में वैसा था. And actually all the youngsters, they run away from that place. So now my question is, if Gita was said thousands years back, then why do we need to learn that Gita, right? यदि हजारों साल पहले गीता हो गई तो उस गीता को सुनना हम पसंद क्यों करेंगे और क्यों सुननी चाहिए? गीता का प्रयोजन क्या है? एक्चुअली आई वुड लाइक टू लिसन फ्रॉम यू ऑल.
क्योंकि ये एक सनातन सत्य है जो सबको जानना चाहिए.
जो जानना चाहिए. और
जैसे जिंदगी बहुत बिजी हो रही है, सब लोग अकेले हो रहे हैं. इट्स वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट दैट हमको सत्य जानना चाहिए. लाइक पहले सब लोग को इतने डिस्टर्ब नहीं थे, पहले इतने सब लोग डिप्रेशन में नहीं थे, क्योंकि सबको थोड़ा वो लोग का थोड़ा धर्मिक, दे हैव दैट धर्म की तरफ थोड़ा झुकाव था. अभी सबको टेम्पररी है, मटेरियलिस्टिक है, सबको थोड़े में दुख हो जा रहा है, सबको डिप्रेशन में आ रहा है. तो ये जो है, इट इज नॉट ऐसा कि ये कोई थंब रूल है, लेकिन ये सत्य है जीवन का. तो इसको जानना बहुत जरूरी है. जितना ज्यादा जानेंगे उतना कम दुखी होंगे.
और किसी का कुछ अभिप्राय इसके ऊपर? यदि कोई बोलना चाहता है तो बिल्कुल आपके लिए अवसर है, यहाँ आप बोल सकते हो.
आई थिंक गीता का ज्ञान टाइमलेस है, रिगार्डलेस ऑफ कब लिखा गया था पहले या अब. इट्स रेलेवेंट इन ऑल एजेस एंड विल बी रेलेवेंट इन फ्यूचर. इट टेल्स अस अबाउट आत्मज्ञान, ब्रह्म ज्ञान, द मोस्ट इम्पोर्टेंट. सो वी ऑल have to know it or must know it to get through this life, to get to our own selves.
Great. So even though Gita was explained or said in Kurukshetra 1,000 years back, that doesn't matter. Why? Because it is still relevant in our day-to-day life. Battle was between Arjuna and Pandavas, and those Arjunas and Pandavas are still alive in our physical life. So if you think about our mind, there are two pakshas. One is Pandav paksha, which is good mind, we can say, and there is another paksha, the Kaurav paksha, we can say, that is bad mind. So whenever we wake up, and when from morning to night, that battle continues. For an example, if I'm waking up at 5 o'clock, Pandav Paksha will say, Are, you should get up, you should do exercise, and you should walk in the morning, right? That would be good mind, or we can say Pandav Paksha. Another Paksha, Kaura Paksha will say, What will you do? There is a nice, situation, you can sleep for 1 more hour, and that way, Kaurava Paksha will be dealing with your mind. So these are two pakshas, Pandava Paksha, good mind, Kaura Paksha, bad mind. So these battles happen day to day life in our, in regular life. So that's why this Bhagavad Gita deals about these both paksha. There will be Arjuna or Pandavas, there will be Kaurav paksha, and both should be, you know, Bhagwan will be supporting good paksha. That's how we are going to see through this Gita, right? So now, good paksha, if you support that Pandav paksha, that will be more stronger. Pujya Gurudev used to say, Swami Chinmayananda, there are two kinds of bhediya. अच्छा भेड़िया, दूसरा है बुरा भेड़िया. If you feed that अच्छा वाला भेड़िया, it will be तंदुरुस्त. जो यदि कोई भेड़िया को खाना खिलाता है, तो अच्छा भेड़िया को खाना खिलाता है, तो ऑब्वियसली दैट भेड़िया विल बी स्ट्रॉन्ग, राइट? So in the similar way, if we feed some thoughts, good thoughts to good mind, that good mind will be strong, right? So that's how, if that mind is strong, then there will not be any battle, even though battle will happen, but good mind will win over bad mind. That's how Gita helps us in our day-to-day life. That is one thought. Now, similar thought was there in Arjuna's mind. Gita started with his explanation. He used to say, Oh Bhagwan, I don't know what is dharma and what is adharma. He was saying, Karpanya dosho pahata swabhavaha pritchami tvam dharma sammudha chetaha aham dharma sammudha cheta asmi. I am dharma sammudha cheta. I don't know anything about dharma and adharma, and I am getting confused. Oh Bhagwan, please explain me what is dharma and what is adharma. So that's how Gita Shastra helps us to know our dharma and paradharma. So dharma, adharma, kartavya, akartavya will be known through this Gita. That's why even though it was explained thousands years back, but still it is giving some message even this life in these days, right? That's how Gita works. And again, Gita is known as Pramana Grantha. It is also known as Jnana Grantha, Shastra Grantha, and Dharma Grantha. So if you want to know more about Dharma, you can learn Gita, you can study Gita. If you want to know more about Jnanam, Jnanam can be management or anything another, like Adhyatmik Jnana, Adhidaivik Jnana, and Adhibhautika Jnana. If you want to know more about Jiva, you can study Gita. If you want to know about Jagat, you can study Gita. If you want to know about Ishvara, Paramatma, you can study Gita. Right? Anything which is there in Jagat, you can study Gita to understand that thing more elaborately. And also, Gita is Margadarshaka Grantha. So it guides us to how to lead our life towards Parama Purushartha. So that's how Gita is Margadarshaka Grantha. Now within Gita, what happens, we have developed a habit to learn anything in shortcut. We are not able to read whole Vedas, so that's how we go for Upanishad. And laterly, in later period of time, also we were not able to read whole Upanishads. So now there was a shortcut. We started learning Srimad Bhagavad Gita. Also, there are some days where we cannot study whole Gita. So that's how our compassionate God has written a short Shastra which is called Purushottama Yoga. So it is a summary of Srimad Bhagavad Gita. Do you know this chapter is called Shastram? How many of you know 15 chapter? How many of you chant 15 chapter? Before bhojana, before lunch and dinner? No one?
I only chant only one shloka before food.
Which one that sloka?
Om Brahmarpanam Brahmahavi Brahmagano.
Acha, that is from
Okay.
Gita, not from 15 chapter.
That
Okay.
is different one, yes.
Yes. Any another Nandini ji, right? Yeah. Okay, there are only two people who chant Srimad Bhagavad 15 chapter. There is a particular shloka where Bhagwan explains this is a Shastra. There is a last shloka. If you see Gita in 15 chapter, if you chant last shloka, it will be Iti Guhyatamam
Shastra.
Shastram. So this chapter particularly known as Shastra Grantha, Shastra Prakarana. Okay, Shastra Adhyaya. Now you might be thinking, what is this Shastra now?
It's the
Why
last
15
sloka,
chapter is called
right?
Shastra? Yeah, last shloka.
It is last sloka.
Last shloka, correct. So now what does Shastra means? Do you know anything about Shastra? Anyone? What does Shastra mean? And how it is
Scriptures,
Shastra? Shastra means scriptures. Okay. Anything else? Do you
like
know
the
the
Vedas,
meaning of Shastra? Yeah,
like
Hiralji.
the Vedas, Upanishads.
Are Shastra. Vedas, Upanishads, and many another granthas are called Shastra. Why they called Shastra? Why they are called Shastra? Is there any particular reason? Ramayana is not called Shastra,
It
but
is an
Srimad
epic.
Bhagavad Gita is called Shastra. Right?
Hmm.
Upanishads are called Shastra, but not any Prakaran Grantha. What is different between Prakarana Grantha, text, and scriptures?
They tell you how to behave.
Shastra Grantha, right?
Yeah, how to
They are
live
written.
life.
Correct.
How to live life.
Okay. Even Ramayana tells us, even Ramayana tells us how to live our life. But Ramayana is not called Shastra.
Shastras are written by Maharshi, and but these epics, they are this, the real life stories, what happened.
Okay. Now you are describing Shastra and Itihasa, right?
Mm-hmm.
Correct. So now let me go back to my question. Shastra, what does Shastra mean? Shastra has particular, if you see the grammar of this word, it is made, it is made, this Shastra word is made with Shas root. Shasti iti Shastram. Shasti means what? Hitam upadishati iti Shastram. जो हित का उपदेश करता है उसको शास्त्र कहा जाता है. ठीक है, उसकी और भी सारी व्याख्याएं थोड़ी एक के बाद एक मैं बताता हूं. सो फर्स्ट व्याख्या इज हितम उपदिशति इति शास्त्र. किंतु कैसे? सो नेक्स्ट डेफिनेशन इज शासनात् त्रायते iti shastram. Trayate means what? To protect. That which protects through shasana. Shasana means what? Do this, do not do this. So don'ts, do's and don'ts. Shastra will be speaking about vidhi and nisheda, right? So remember this second definition. I am going to connect with karma kanda. Shasana trayate iti shastram, that shastra which protects through vidhi and nisheda. Now, third definition I am giving. Shamsanat trayate iti shastram. Again, trayate means protect. So that which protects through praise or through knowledge. Here, Shamsana can be taken as knowledge. Brahma Jnanam. Alright? That which protects through Brahma Jnanam is called Shastram. Is it clear? So now, again, if you see Vedas, Veda actually talks about two things. What are those two things? First thing is Dharma, and another thing is Brahma. So those who want to know about Dharma, Dharma Jidnyasamananam Pramanam Paramam Shrutihi. If somebody wants to know more about dharma, what to do, what not to do, what is our karma, kartavya karma, what is good and bad, if somebody wants to know, he has to study Veda. Veda in the sense karma kanda. So vidhi and nisheda means karma kanda. So one portion of Vedas is known as karma kanda. Another portion of Vedas is jnana kanda, which means which portion which talks about Brahma. Brahma jidnyasamananam pramanam paramam shrutihi. Those who want to know more about Brahma, Vedas are going to help them. So these are two things. Mostly Karma Kanda and Jnana Kanda. Again, within Karma Kanda, some people make a part of Karma Kanda. That which is physical action, they say Karma Kanda. And if that particular action is mentally connected, that would be Upasana Kanda. Upasana is nothing but bhakti in Gita language, right? Okay, so up to this, what we have seen? We have seen the definition of Shastra, right? Shasanat trayati iti shastram, Shamsanat trayati iti shastram. Both definition in Karma Kanda and Jnana Kanda. Okay, so now what does Shastra Grantha mean? Huh?
I have a question. Like Ramayana is a itihas, history. So Mahabharata is also itihas.
It is also itihas.
So Gita is coming within Mahabharata, right?
Ji.
Is comes in the like a Bhishma Parva, I think.
Correct. Yes.
Right. So how can Gita Bhagwan says iti guhyatamam shastram medamuktam maya naga?
Correct. Again, for Shastra, becoming Shastra, there is a particular rule. In Shastra, that will be Shastra where you will find Adhikari. Whenever you find Guru Pasakti, whenever you find this kind of aspect, there are 6 aspects. I have shared, in Tattva Bodha class, I had shared those aspects. So all those aspects will be added, then that particular Grantha will be known as Shastra. Otherwise, that would be, if any aspect is missing, then that would be Prakarana Grantha, or it would be some another text, right? So for Shastra, Adhikari is needed, Guru Pasakti is needed, then Jiva, Jagata and Ishwar, that kind of Vichara should be there, then there should be particular Mahavakya. That's how Shastra works. Okay, another definition of Shastra Grantha now. What is called Shastra Grantha? Eka Prayojana Upanibaddham Asheshartha Pratipadakam. This is the definition of Shastra. So let's see 2 parts. There are 2 parts. Eka Prayojana Upanibaddham. So this is first part. A Shastra Grantha has a particular prayojana. What is that prayojana? About, Atyantika Dukha Nivrutti Paramananda Prapti is the prayojana. Or talking about Brahma Vidya, that would be prayojana of any Shastra Grantha. So all the Shastra Granthas will be talking about Brahma and Brahmanyan. Right? That is the first part. And Asheshartha Pratipadakam, that is second part. Ashesha Artha, so it will be covering all the aspect, like Adhikari, who is Adhikari, how he should be, what qualification he should have, sadhana chatushtaya sampanna, etc., etc. Those all aspect will be discussed in that particular Shastra Grantha. Okay, so now all Vedas or Upanishads are called Shastra Grantha. And now even Gita is called Shastra Grantha because all the aspects which are required for Shastra are covered in Gita. And if you see 15 chapter, separately, even 15 chapter is known as Shastra Grantha or Shastra Adhyaya because it covers all the aspects. In the last class, I will explain how it is Shastra, right? Okay. Now, so basically we know that all the Upanishads are called Shastra Grantha. Why? There are all Adhikari, Vishaya, etc. topics are covered and there will be particular Mahavakya. Huh? In the Bhagavad Gita, it is, if you see the commentary of Madhusudan Saraswati ji, Gudhartha Dipika, there he explains from first chapter till sixth chapter, there is a particular topic. Huh? If you see the Tattvamasi Mahavakya, there is a Tvam Pada Vichara. Tvam Pada is nothing but Jiva Vichara, Jiva Sambandhi Vichara. So, from first chapter till sixth chapter, you will be finding the vicharas relating Jiva. So how? In first chapter, you will find Arjuna Vishada Yoga. It is particularly Vishada of Jiva. If some Jiva is having Vishada, what he should do? Then that Jiva should go towards Guru, and that Guru will be giving some knowledge. That is called Sankhya Yoga, second chapter, where you will find the nature of Brahman or Atman. Okay, when Jiva comes to know about Atma Jnana, and if he is not capable, what he needs to do, there will be another topic which is known as Karma Vishaya Atva Karma Yoga. So, how to do karma, there, what kind of attitude should be there, that part will be covered in half part or second chapter and third chapter particularly. Third chapter is known as Karma Yoga, right? Then,
सांख्ययोग पुनः एक बार वदतु.
Sankhya Yoga नाम यत्र आत्मविषयक विचाराः आगच्छन्ति. द्वितीय अध्याये केवल शास्त्र आत्मविषय विचाराः न सन्ति. Up to 25 you will find
स्थित प्रज्ञस्य लक्षणानि.
Now particularly from 11th shloka till 25 shloka you will find Atma Vishayaka Jnanam. Then from 26 there will be Karma Vishayaka Vichara, Karma Yoga Vishayaka Vichara. There only Karmanyavadhikaraste will find. Then laterly Sthita Prajna Lakshana will start with 52 or 55, I think. Right? Then
like
those, that is 11th shloka, Ashochananva Shochastvam. Okay. So, if Jiva has some doubts regarding Atma Tattva, he needs to study second chapter. It is again related to Jiva. Jiva has to go and learn. Then Jiva has to do Karma Yoga. And while doing Karma Yoga, slowly, with Jnanam, he has to do Karma Sannyasa. So, fourth chapter. 5th chapter, you will see karma sannyasa yoga. When karma sannyasa happens, karma phala tyaga happens, then what he needs to do? There will be dhyana yoga. 6th chapter. There is some noise. Please mute if you can. Yes. So from 1st chapter till 6th chapter, you will find topics related jiva. So actually it is a part of Mahavakya. So tat tvam, this tvam pada vichara is done in 1st quarter, you know, for 1st to 6th chapter. Then later part, 7th chapter till 12th chapter, there is a tat pada vichara. Tat pada vachartha is Ishvara. So now, if you see 7th chapter, where Bhagwan himself will be talking about Jnana and Vijnana Yoga. He will be discussing, you know, there are two kinds of Prakritis. My Prakriti. One is Para Prakriti, one is Apara Prakriti. And I am in everything. Sutre Mani Gana Iva. So this kind of thoughts you are going to know through 7th chapter. Okay. Then lastly, in 7th chapter, he will be giving a technical words. What is Adi, Adhyatma, Adi Yoga, etc., etc. Then Arjun will be confused. What is that? Then whole 8th chapter is dedicated for his questions. Okay, he asks, what is that Adhyatma? Sadi Bhuta Adi Daiva Mam. So that would be his question, right? Kim tad brahma kim adhyatmam kim karma purushottama adhibhutam cha kim proktam adhidaivam kim uchyate. So whole chapter there will be discussion about adhiyajna, adhibrahma, etc., etc. Then again in 9th chapter, Bhagwan will come back to 7th chapter. So whatever discussion was going on in 7th chapter, he will connect 7 to 9th chapter. तो 8 वाला चैप्टर थोड़ा अलग ही चैप्टर है जहां भगवान ने अर्जुन के क्वेश्चन के ऊपर डिस्कशन किया. फिर से वो चैप्टर कंटिन्यू होगा जहां राज विद्या राजगुह्य will be discussed. Then again Bhagwan will be discussing about himself, about Ishwar Tattva, where he will say, I am nothing but I am in all. You know, he will be discussing Vibhuti Yoga, right? Vibhuti Yoga, that is my Vibhuti, that is my Vibhuti, this is my Vibhuti, this is like that. I am Ganga in all rivers, I am that Himalaya in all Parvatas, etc., etc. You know that chapter. How I am in all, that particular thought he will be elaborating. Then laterly, he will move to 11th chapter, where he will be saying how everything is in me, right? So that will be called Vishwarupa Darshan. भगवान बोलेंगे कैसा मैं सब में हूँ और सब कैसे मुझ में है. तो दोनों चैप्टर उसके लिए उन्होंने खर्च किए. और इंटरेस्टिंगली इन 9th चैप्टर यू विल फाइंड ही विल बी सेइंग आई एम इन ऑल, everything is in me, and laterly he will change a statement. He will say everything, there is nothing in me, and I'm not there in everything. So both way we will see when we study 9th chapter, we will discuss about them. Okay, in 11th chapter, Vishwarupa Darshan Yoga, where he will be showing his Vishwarupa Darshana. Then laterly Arjun is going to have question. What that question was, do you know? We have seen 12th chapter, right? I think
Yes.
you remember. What was his question?
सबसे उत्तम भक्त कौन है?
हाँ, सबसे श्रेष्ठ उत्तम भक्त कौन है? तो भगवान ने भी उसका रिप्लाई दिया कि एक्चुअली इन 12th chapter there will be, Bhagwan will be giving bhakti yoga, how you should worship me. So there is a particular shloka, Mayyeva man adasva, Mayi
My
buddhim.
buddhi niveshaya.
Correct. That is the bhakti yoga. How you should do bhakti or upasana. That particular thought was continuing. And again, there is a discussion about supreme bhakta. Why? Because Arjuna wanted to become a bhakta. So whole chapter was surrender for bhakti yoga. And lastly, 13 to 19 shloka, there was jnani lakshana or bhakta lakshana. If you want to become bhakta, what kind of attitude we should have, what qualities we can have. So adveshta sarva bhutana maitra karuna evacha, etc., 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 we had seen. right? So up to 12th chapter, there was second topic which was dedicated to Tatpada Vichara. Now in Tattvamasi, we have seen Twampada, Tatpada, then third pada is Asi. Asi pada shows Aikya, right? Aikya Vichara. So now this Aikya Vichara will continue in 13 chapter, 14, 15, 16, 17 and 18. So last 6 chapters are dedicated for Asi Pada. Interestingly, you will find separate Mahavakya in Bhagavad Gita. Not Tattvamasi, not Aham Brahmasmi, but there is a particular Mahavakya in Srimad Bhagavad Gita. Right now, I am not going to tell that because we are going to study 13th chapter. There I will explain what is Mahavakya, why it is called Mahavakya, and what is that. Okay?
So you are sure you will teach us the whole
Yeah,
Gita,
definitely.
right?
That is very much important, and only this chapter is particularly dedicated for Jnanam. You will not find Upadesha, Vidhi or Nisheda. You will find only Jnanam. And if you see the commentary of Bhagwan Shankaracharya, he writes a long, long commentary on this chapter. ऐसी कमेंट्री आपने सेकंड चैप्टर में थोड़ी सी दिखने को मिलेगी. उसके बाद सबसे बड़ी कमेंट्री है ना, वो 13 चैप्टर पे है. उन्होंने बहुत सारे पेजेस एक एक श्लोकों पे लिखे हैं. कभी चांस मिला तो बिल्कुल देखिएगा. So in 13 chapter there is a discussion regarding kshetra and kshetrajna. Okay, so that topic was covered. Then in this chapter only you will find I am Atma Swarupa, I am that Brahman. If I am Brahman, there will be natural question, common question. If I am Brahma, if I am Satchit Ananda Swarupa, why don't I feel that I am Ananda Swarupa or Brahma? Why I don't feel that or I don't experience that Ananda? Then Bhagavan gives the answer. That happens because of Gunatraya. So in each person, in each thing, there are 3 gunas. So sometime there will be satvika guna will be going up, sometime rajo guna will go up, sometime tamo guna will go up. That's how sometime you will feel happy, sometime you will feel low. When sattva goes high, you will feel very happy, you will feel light, you will like you will like to study something. If there is a rajas high, you will start doing some karma. If tamo guna goes up, then we will feel lazy. So there is a particular, this thing happens through guna. So he will be describing about all gunas, right? So particular topic for chapter is dedicated, 14 chapter is dedicated to Gunatraya Vibhaga. Why people feel sad, why people feel happy, why there is some people feel they are so intelligent, why there are some people who always sleep or always feel lazy, that because of Guna, etc. he will be discussing. Then laterly, now Bhagwan is going to move to 15th chapter. Now, if you observe this chapter, there are particular chapters which will be starting with Arjuna's question. But there are some chapters where Bhagwan or Arjuna does not ask any question, and Bhagwan himself will be continuing, or without any question, he will start giving knowledge. Bhagwan Shankaracharya writes about him, Arjunam aprishtam api karunyavan Bhagwan upadishati. Bhagwan has lot of karuna, lot of dayaluta. That's why even Arjuna does not have any question. He will be creating questions and he will be explaining. Bhagwan will be explaining. Even though Arjuna does not have any question, Bhagwan will put or create question. He will put some questions and he will be describing, Arjuna, this is like this. So that's how he is very karuna. Now, up to this, I have just, given an introduction for 15th chapter, how Gita was coming through Arjuna Vishada, then Sankhya Yoga, Karma Sannyasa Yoga, Dhyana Yoga, then etc. up to Gunatraya Vibhaga Yoga. Now we are going to move to Purushottama Yoga. We are going to learn 15th chapter. Now there will be a common question: why do we chant this particular chapter before having food, before lunch or dinner, isn't it? Continue. Is there any particular reason? Is there any thought in your mind? You can explain. Why do we chant 15 chapter before having lunch? Is there any particular reason? Have you come across? No? Am I audible?
Yes.
Yeah, then fine. No answers? Any answer you can.
Like we often chant 15 chapter. That you mean to ask, right?
Why we chant particular 15 chapter? Even though there is a shortest adhyaya, 12th adhyaya. There are only 20 shlokas. It is even shorter than 15 chapter. Why we don't chant 12 chapter? Why we particularly chant 15 chapter?
Is it a summary of the Bhagavad Gita in some sense?
Correct. It is a summary of Srimad Bhagavad Gita. Bhagwan summarizes Bhagavad Gita thrice. In second chapter, he summarizes. In 15th chapter, he summarizes, gives a knowledge actually. And even in 18th chapter, he summarizes. So it is actually 15th chapter is a summary of whole Bhagavad Gita. Because it is a Shastra. Lastly, he will be saying, Iti Grihatam Shastra. So that is particular thought. Another thing, and it is short chapter, only 20 shlokas are there. And third reason, you will find I'll continue. What you will find in this chapter, there is a particular shloka, aham vaishvanaro bhutva
Naro bhutva praninam
प्राणिनाम देहमाश्रितः प्राणापान समायुक्तः पचामि अन्नम
annam chaturvidam.
चतुर्विधम. So now this particular shloka where Bhagwan says, I whatever you have consumed of food, I pachami annam chaturvidam. That four kind of annam I पचामी को कैसे ट्रांसलेट करेंगे?
Digest.
I digest that four kind of food. So that's how before having food, we are going to have food, but there is a what was that word? Digest. So Bhagwan actually going to help to digest. So that's how we have to remember that, oh, there is a particular fact where Bhagwan actually is going to digest that food, not our system. Right? That is called Agni. That Agni is nothing but Bhagwan. So that is one thing. And another thing I used to listen from some people, that they used to say, this food we are going to have for body, particular food, right? But this chapter is a food of mind and intellect. So body is having another food, and this 15th chapter is becoming a food for mind and intellect. So give some food for our mind and intellect, we have to chant this particular chapter. So that was another answer. Okay, so now we will begin with first shloka. Someone please repeat after me. Om Shri Paramatmane Namaha. Repeat after me.
Om Shri Paramatmane Namaha.
अथ पंचदशोऽध्यायः
अथ पंचदशोऽध्यायः
पुरुषोत्तमयोगः.
पुरुषोत्तमयोगः.
श्रीभगवान् उवाच
श्रीभगवान् उवाच
ऊर्ध्वमूलमदः शाखम्
ऊर्ध्वमूलमदः शाखम्
अश्वत्थं प्राहुरव्ययम्
अश्वत्थं प्राहुरव्ययम्
छन्दांसि यस्य पर्णानि
छन्दांसि यस्य पर्णानि
यस्तं वेद स वेदवित्
यस्तं वेद स वेदवित्।
श्रीभगवान् उवाच ऊर्ध्वमूलमधः शाखम् अश्वत्थं प्राहुरव्ययम् छन्दांसि यस्य पर्णानि यस्तं वेद स वेदवित्. So let's do padacheda. You can do padacheda. Somebody if wants to try, they can go ahead. Can you split the words? Can you separate the pada? Urdhvam moolam adaha shakham. I'm not going to put right now. Literally, I will put. I want to know from you. Right? One by one.
Ashwatham.
Ashwatham.
Prahuhu.
Prahuhu.
राहुः अव्ययम्
Avyayam. Correct. Then Chandansi. Chanda is the word. Chandas is sakaranta word. Bahuvachanam if you see. Chandaha, chandasi, chandaunsi. Manaha, manasi, manaunsi. Okay. So chandaunsi is plural. Yasya paranani. Again bahuvachanam. Next.
यस्तं
Yahatam.
So yaha, yastam. Right. Veda. Next.
सह सह वेद
Saha Vedavid, right? Now actually you should get a sandhis etc. also. Urdhvam, sorry, Urdhvamulaha, I said Urdhvam Moolam. That is also fine, actually that is Samasta Pada, but it is a Urdhvamulam. Urdhvamulam also fine. Adashakam,
What sort of samas will that be or some Urdu Moolam as such?
a karma dhara it would be.
Oh, thank you.
अथो बहुव्री also can be ऊर्ध्वं मूलं यस्य सह वृक्षः यस्य मूलं ऊर्ध्वं वर्तते right बहुव्री समास okay there is a samas I have given ऊर्ध्वं मूलं यस्य सह सह वृक्षः सह संसार वृक्षः now this is a discussion about samsara vriksha. You will find from first shloka till fourth shloka there will be description about samsara vriksha, right? So how that vriksha is pullinga shabda. So here urdhva moolam it becoming urdhva moolah. If you see first prathama vibhakti ekvachanam it will become urdhva moolah. So one who knows, actually it is put in second case, urdhva moolam, one who knows that vriksha, yaha vriksham veda sa vedavid, that is the sentence. One who knows that vriksha, samsara vriksha, is known as vedavid, knower of Veda. So that is a particular vakya. Which kind of vriksha? First, urdhvam moolam yasya, one who is having रूट्स अबाव तो जिसका मूल ऊपर है सो इट हैज पर्टिकुलर मीनिंग विल सी दैट अधः शाखम सिमिलर अधः शाखाः यस्य वृक्षस्य तादृशः वृक्षः अधशाखः इति नाम्ना ज्ञायते सो इट विल हैव अनदर नेम दैट संसार वृक्ष विल हैव अनदर नेम दैट इज एज अधशाखः. Right, first name is ऊर्ध्वमूलः, second name is अधशाखः.
आचार्य मुझे ऐसा लगता है ऊर्ध्व मूला अधश एक ही शब्द है which describes that वृक्ष.
Correct. So there is by mistakenly there is a it should be one word, right? अधः शाखः अधशाखः we can say, right? Then अव्ययम न वेति iti avyam, na vidyate vyayah iti avyam. Both way we can do a padacheda or a samasa vigraha. Na vidyate vyayah athva na veti iti avyayam. Right? These are bahuvrihi. Okay, let's say anvayam. ऊर्ध्वमूलम् अधशाखम् अश्वत्थम् यस्य पर्णानि छन्दांसि तादृशम् अव्ययम् प्राहुः यह तम वृक्षम वेद स वेदवित्. नाउ सी पदार्थ you will हाँ ऊर्ध्व मूलम means what? ऊर्ध्वस्थित परमार्थ अथवा परमात्म मूलम. I will explain that how it is paramatma moolam etc. laterly. Adah shakham. Adah means below. Shakham means branches. Which kind of branches? So now, whatever will be karya of Paramatma will be known as Adashakam. Actually means all the beings are known as Shakha, branches. Okay, so main root is Brahman and it will have Shakha. All the jivas will be shakhas of that samsara vriksha. And how it is? Yasya Paranani, all the trees will have some leaves. What are the leaves for this vriksha? It is said, Chandaunsi Nama Vedaha Etasya Vrikshasya Paranani Athva Patrani. All the Vedas are leaves of this samsara vriksha. The one who knows this samsara vriksha, that person, that particular vidvan is known as Vedavid. So this is the short meaning of this shloka. So now, if you have any doubt regarding this, you can ask, otherwise I will continue.
How do you assume it is Sansara Vriksham? I mean, as a
Correct. That's how I'm going to explain now. Now, in Shastra, to explain some knowledge, Bhagwan or Guru uses some particular method. Now in Srimad Bhagavad Gita, in this particular chapter, Bhagwan has used a particular method. You know, so if in our school days it used to happen, whenever our teacher used to teach something, he used to take some part which is known to us, right? Some part which is known, and through that known vastu, he used to lead us towards unknown factor. So known to unknown, subtle, gross to subtle, there is a method. So there is a particular nyaya actually where here you can use. There is a called, you know, Arundhati Darshana Nyaya. Anybody know this nyaya, Arundhati Darshana Nyaya? Have you heard about this?
Yes,
What is that? Can you explain?
ये अरुंधति एक छोटा तारा है आकाश में, उसको दिखाने के लिए उसके बाजू का जो बड़ा तारा है उसका रेफरेंस देके उसको दिखाते, so that you first see that big one and then besides that this is the small tara.
Correct. So that is a particular method that is called Arundhati Darshana. When this Arundhati actually is not visible, okay, so there will be 7 other stars, and there is a particular, this Nyaya is used in many things. You know, whenever Bhagavan Shankaracharya writes Bhashya, in Brahma Sutra Bhashya, there is a Ananda Adhikarana Prakarana. So here there he will be discussing about Pancha Kosha, and then he will be explaining, you know, Annamaya Kosha is Atma. And when students comes to know, oh, Annamaya is Atma, then laterly he will say, no, 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 no. Annamaya is not Atma, Pranamaya is Atma. And again, student will think about how Prana is becoming Atma. Okay, so Prana is Atma. Then laterly he will say, no, even Prana is not Atma. Then laterly he will say Vijnanamaya Kosha, Anandamaya. Lastly he will say Anandamaya Kosha. And eventually, even he will say, no, that Atma is not Anandamaya Kosha. So through gross to subtle he will lead. So now here also Similar method Bhagwan has used. We all know some kind of ruksha, right? All trees we know there will be some tree which will having some root, we will have some leaves, and we will have shakhas, branches. So it is becoming very simple to understand what is samsara. Now he is using a particular rupaka, राइट, उपमा और रूपक. हम जैसे कि यदि किसी व्यक्ति का डिस्क्रिप्शन देना है तो हम बोलते हैं अरे वो है ना चांद सा रोशन चेहरा, यू नो ऑल. ओके, सो particular thing is having a face like moon. Actually it might not have, but we describe as. So similarly Bhagwan says there is a kind of samsara, and Bhagwan is using some rupaka to that samsara. So this samsara which have मूलम, so इसका मूल ऊपर की साइड है. ऊपर की साइड मतलब क्या? ऊपर की साइड मतलब श्रेष्ठ, जिसका मूल श्रेष्ठ है. और संसार का मूल क्या है? उपादान कारण क्या है? ब्रह्म. ऑब्वियसली संसार का अधिष्ठान क्या है? ब्रह्म. सो जिसका अधिष्ठान ऊपर की साइड है. एक्चुअली देयर इज अ ऊर्ध्वम वर्ड, डजंट मीन दिशावाचक. हियर ब्रह्म इज नॉट दिशावाचक. एक्चुअली ब्रह्म इज ऑल परवेडेड, बट ऊर्ध्वम वर्ड एक्चुअली रेफर्स, इट इज श्रेष्ठ, राइट? इट कैन बी ट्रांसलेटेड एज श्रेष्ठ, जिसका कारण श्रेष्ठतम है, श्रेष्ठ है. एंड इफ यू कंपेयर दैट ब्रह्म विद जीव, जीवास आर अधः, मतलब क्या? कनिष्ठ, राइट? ब्रह्म श्रेष्ठ है, उसका जो भी कार्य होगा वो कनिष्ठ रहेगा. किसकी इफ यू कंपेयर विद ब्रह्मन. सो संसार वृक्ष ऐसा है जिसका मूल मतलब ब्रह्म श्रेष्ठ है. उस वृक्ष से आए हुए जितने भी ब्रांचेस है वो अधः है, मतलब क्या? कनिष्ठ है. जो भी उनके उस संसार से आए हुए जितने भी प्राणी हैं, जितने भी जीव है, वो कनिष्ठ है. ठीक है. तीसरा पॉइंट उन्होंने बताया, छंदांसी यस्य पर्णानि. एक्चुअली लीव्स का कुछ जॉब होता है, पत्रों का कुछ जॉब होता है. क्या जॉब होता है? उनका पर्टिकुलर यूज क्या होता है? टू नरिश
ऑक्सीजन.
ट्री. करेक्ट. ऑक्सीजन कलेक्ट करके उसमें कुछ अन्न तैयार करके वो वृक्ष को देता रहता है, राइट? सो नाउ छंदांसी, छंदांसी मीन्स वेदाः. So all the Vedas are nourisher of the samsara vriksha. And here Vedas is particularly taken as particularly karma, that Veda which gives the knowledge of karma kanda. Right? Here mainly focus is on karma kanda. So Chandansi word refers to Vedas, those Vedas which gives the instruction of karma kanda, right? So Chandansi yasya parnani, right? Parnani, yes. So all the Vedas are nourisher of this tree. We cannot take Jnana Kanda. Why? Because literally you will be seeing this Jnana Kanda will be cutting off this tree. This Jnana Kanda actually cuts off this tree. So that's how here Chandansi Yasya Paranani, this line can be taken as Vedas are nourisher of samsara vriksha. But which kind of Vedas? Which describes about karma, right? So up to this is clear. छंदांसि यस्य पर्णानि, यह तम वेदः, यह मनुष्यः, यह विद्वान, जो पुरुष, तम तम संसार वृक्षम, राइट? यह तम संसार वृक्षम वेद जानाति अवगच्छति, one who knows that samsara vriksha, सह वेदवित्, he is a knower of Veda, right? Is there any particular pada which we have left?
No.
Is that clear? First shloka, there is a avyaya pada. This vriksha is known as avyaya. Avyaya means what? No, veti iti avyaya. So now does samsara vriksha is avyaya? अव्यय मतलब जिसका कभी नाश नहीं होता. संसार वृक्ष का नाश कभी भी नहीं होता क्या? होता है ना, why it is
प्रलय
called
आने के
अव्यय? जी,
प्रलय होने के बाद होता है।
प्रलय होने के बाद मतलब ज्ञान होने के बाद संसार वृक्ष नष्ट होता है, right? But why it is said it is avyaya? That will be your homework. You have to find out why Bhagwan has particularly used that samsara vriksha is avyaya. So you will, if you somebody gets a chance to read Shankar Bhashya, you will get answer. Okay, so I will leave that question up to you.
So you are the doctorate student of all these things. We are not. How can we
No,
find
no,
it out?
I am just generating jidnyasa. I will eventually tomorrow. I have to explain, right?
But you are referring so many shastras because of your doctorate, right? How many things you are referring for Gita's?
I'm just trying, but actually I will be explaining those kind of things, so it will somehow it will generate some interest, to read even Madhusudani, Gudhartha
But
Deepika or Shankaranand.
Gudhartha Deepika is only in Sanskrit, is available in only in Sanskrit,
Actually
right?
it is available in Hindi also. All the granthas are available in Hindi right now.
It's in Hindi also.
Yes, yes.
Is any particular author you can refer us in Hindi?
I will put a picture in the group, so
Okay, thank you.
there is a commentary even in
विनाश
Marathi.
आचार्य
अविनाश जी नमस्कार।
नमस्कार श्रीराम जी।
बहुत बहुत मुझे खेद है, मैं सो गया था सोचते सोचते, ध्यान भी नहीं रहा और लेट हो गई, मुझे क्षमा
जी,
चाहता।
कोई बात नहीं, कोई बात नहीं, कोई बात नहीं।
और अभी आपने जो एक बहुत बात अच्छी कही कि ये हम लोग तो विनाशशील हैं, तो वेद स्तुति में भागवत पुराण के बड़ी अच्छी बात कही गई है। वेद स्तुति में आपको जो उसका 24वां 10:87-24 कहते हैं, कई नु वेद बतावर जन्म लयो अग्रसरम यत उद्ग्राद श्री यमनु देवगणा उभिये। मतलब आपकी लीला, आप तो अनंत हैं, जिसका जन्म मृत्यु कभी भगवान का होता नहीं है। हम लोग आपके बाद आए, आपके पहले ही चले जाएंगे। तो यहाँ जो कुछ भी हो रहा है, तो ये हम लोग एक अपने व्यवहार में ही देखते हैं।
जी,
व्यवहार की सीमा तक ही सब कुछ है, क्षमा करेंगे।
जी, ये भागवत में आता है ना, दशम स्कंद में आता है।
10:87-24 माने वेद स्तुति में बहुत सी अच्छी अच्छी बातें हैं।
जी जी, बिल्कुल बिल्कुल, वहाँ भी पूरा वेदांत ही भरा है।
जी जी,
है ना।
ये बताइए कि हम चूंकि एकदम सो गए थे, अब फिर कब होगा ये क्लास? अगले
गुरुवार शुक्रवार को, अगले गुरुवार ये अवेलेबल हो जाएगा, यूट्यूब पे अवेलेबल।
तो ये थोड़ा सा भेज दीजिएगा हमें यूट्यूब पर। और इस बार कौन 15वां अध्याय है?
15वां अध्याय शुरुआत किया। अच्छा, एक ही श्लोक कर पाया हम आज, करेंगे।
अच्छा, कोई बात नहीं, कोई बात नहीं। जी नमस्ते।
नमस्ते
आचार्य। प्राहुः इत्युक्ते किं? प्राहुः
आहुः प्रकर्षेण आहु। आहु मीन्स इट इज सेड।
प्र आहुः।
आह आहतुः आहुः। सो लट लकार ब्रू धातु यूनो ब्रवीति टू से, देयर विल बी उच्यते, राइट। वदामि वदन्ति, सो एक्चुअली इट मीन्स वदन्ति, टू से। बहुवचनम इज यूज्ड। प्राहुः, इट इज सेड।
प्र उपसर्ग अस्ति।
प्र उपसर्ग पूर्वक आह धातु।
और
धन्यवाद।
अविनाश जी, धातु वाला जो वर्ग है वो चलेगा सोमवार को कि नहीं?
हाँ, सोमवार से वो चलेगा। अभी आ गए हम वापस।
अच्छा, ठीक ठीक, बहुत अच्छा, बहुत
आज का यही रखते हैं। अगले गुरुवार और शुक्रवार को हम वो क्वेश्चन कंटिन्यू करेंगे और अगला चैप्टर, अगले श्लोक कंटिन्यू करते रहेंगे। ओके, विल डू शांति पाठ। ओम पूर्णमदः पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते। ओम शांति शांति शांति। हरि ओम श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः। हरि ओम।
श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः।
स्वागत।